Hi guys, I'm Raghav from Headphone Zone. In today's video, I want to talk to you about another collaboration that we've been working on for the last few months. And this one is very special. I can finally reveal and share with all of you our next co-branded IEM. And this is one that has been designed absolutely fresh, ground up, only and only for the Indian audiophile community. So we've worked really hard to get this one right. We've collaborated along with our friends from Oriveti. Some of you may remember the Headphone Zone X Oriveti OD200 from last year, which was an absolute banger of an IEM, continues to be one of our most successful collaborations yet. And we wanted to continue that momentum to create a more affordable IEM, and one that I think is an absolute winner. Let me introduce all of you to the Headphone Zone X Oriveti Blackbird. Okay, so let me tell you everything you need to know about the Headphone Zone X Oriveti Blackbird. There's so many things to talk about. First, why did we create this IEM? Now, it's just not another co-branded IEM. This one actually had several reasons going for it, which is why we worked really hard on it. The first is we wanted to create something at the 5,000 rupee price segment. We started that as the goal, and then we worked backwards for what could we get in that segment. Why? Because there's a lot of products which are there available at very affordable 2,000 and 3,000 rupee price points. But for somebody who'd like to upgrade from there, who'd like to get their second IEM, there are very few options at the 5,000 rupee segment, which we truly believe represent excellent value for money. Now, the second thing we knew was that there were already a lot of really great sounding IEMs at that 5K segment. I've even made a really long YouTube video comparing all of them. Some of the most popular ones are the Truthhear X Clinical Zero Red. Very balanced sound signatures, sounds very detailed, very good. A lot of people consider that the benchmark to beat. You've also got a couple of different KZs. You've got a couple of different SIM-GOTs, which are all nice, fun sounding IEMs, and all of them do justice to the price segment. But what was always missing was something that had a fun, bass-driven sound signature. A lot of people start their audiophile journeys with an IEM like the Headphone Zone X FIO JD1, maybe something like a Headphone Zone X Kiwi Ears Cadenza. All of these IEMs are known for their bass. Their bass first, but at the same time, they've got great mid-range, great vocals, a really nice detailed treble. But the highlight has always been the bass. And so we knew that we wanted something at that 5,000 rupee price point, which was missing all along. A fun, energetic, bass-driven sound signature, one that anybody who loves the sound of a JD1, of a Cadenza, would be happy to upgrade to. And that's what we started with as a goal. An IEM for 5,000 rupees, one with a bass-first, energetic sound signature. And that's what led us to the Headphone Zone X Oriveti Blackbird. Now, I want to talk to you about the driver configuration on the Blackbird because it's very interesting. So Oriveti knew that they had to create something bespoke, something that wasn't out there anywhere. And they recommended that we go along with a 2+1 hybrid configuration. So there's 3 different drivers per side. You've got a 10mm dynamic driver, which is only focused on the low end, the bass, just giving you that thump that you would want from a fun sounding IEM. The 10mm dynamic driver just does that, and does a beautiful job because it just sounds so full and energetic. Along with that, you've got 2 custom balanced armature drivers which are focused on the mid-range and the treble. It sounds very detailed, it sounds really rich, the vocals sound nice and forward, but the treble is not harsh or spiky in any way. You will find that it's got a slightly more relaxed treble tuning, which doesn't give you that fatiguing feeling that sometimes a lot of the other IEMs have. Some of you have always found that while you enjoy the low end on the bass, but with a V-shaped sound signature, the treble sometimes becomes so elevated that it can sound like pins that are poking into your ears. We didn't want to do that. So while this is a V-shaped sound signature, the treble is just toned down that a little bit to give you an airy but non-fatiguing feeling. It's completely unique from anything else that's out there in this segment, and I'm very, very happy to say that when we had this blind test with so many people out there, it was probably the first time that they had heard bass like that, balanced along with a lot of richness in the mid-range and the vocals. It's unlike anything else that we've heard. So here are the nuts and bolts of the design itself. It's a very lightweight acrylic shell. You'll find that it's very, very durable. I think for me, one of the things that I love about these IEMs is they're phenomenally comfortable. It's got a very similar design philosophy as the Oriveti OD200, which of course is made out of metal, but this one is made out of acrylic and fits like a glove to my ears. At least I'm sure a lot of people out there will find that the fit and the design is one of the biggest USPs of this particular IEM. More details you should know. It comes with a detachable single-ended 3.5mm cable, uses 2-pin connectors, really works very well. It's a nice clean cable design, very durable. But if you want to upgrade this to a balanced cable, you can very easily do that using the Headphone Zone Highway Star or the Headphone Zone Stairway balanced cables. Both of them are compatible along with the Blackbird. All you have to do is select the 2-pin connector, which is what the Blackbird uses. In the box, Oriveti always does a great job with its accessories. We wanted to make sure that you've got a great number of accessories so that you get value for money when you pay 5,000 rupees for this IEM. You've got a really nice carry case. It's durable, carries the earphones and accessories very conveniently in your pocket. At the same time, you've got 6 different sets of ear tips. You've got 3 ear tips which are more bullet-shaped ear tips for people who want that deeper fit that gives them that sense of comfort and grip. And for people who want slightly more wider ear tip, you've got 3 sets of bowl ear tips. Try them all out. I'm sure one of them will be the absolute winner for your ears. The Blackbird is a very easy IEM to drive. You'll find that you can use this along with virtually any source out there. We of course always recommend that you use it along with a high resolution DAC. So something like the Headphone Zone X DD Hi-Fi High Res DAC works perfectly fine. It's a simple plug and play. You don't need to think too much about it. If you'd like to upgrade with balanced cables, then of course you need to get yourself a balanced DAC, something like the DD Hi-Fi High Res DAC Pro, which has a 4.4mm balanced output. I want to try and maybe compare this to a couple of different IEMs which are out there so that people who are watching will have a reference to know what to expect from the Blackbird. So first, it feels like a logical upgrade, a logical successor to something like the Headphone Zone X FIO JD1, which is a really great budget entry-level IEM, but with a bass-first sound signature, something that's really fun, energetic. It's capable of taking the music and making it sound like a party in your head. But this is so much more richer, so much more detailed, so much more nuanced, just because of the fact that you've got 3 great drivers doing the job of one. And I really feel that for anybody who enjoys that kind of sound, they're going to absolutely love this IEM. Now compare this to a whole bunch of other IEMs at the 5,000 rupee price segment. I truly believe there's really nothing else out there which has this kind of a sound signature, something with this kind of focus on the bass. To me, one of the most popular IEMs in this segment is something like the Truth X Clinical Zero Red, which is a superb IEM but goes for a very balanced, neutral sound signature. For somebody who wants a little bit more fun, something that's just more interesting and less plain and vanilla, that's exactly what the Blackbird was going for. So I don't think it's a fair comparison with a whole bunch of IEMs. It's just something very different that I think represents a different kind of thought process and tuning, something that should sound fun to listen to no matter what kind of genre you're listening to without compromising on any of the details. Alright, if you'd like to get your hands on the Blackbird and try it out for yourself, you can of course order one starting today for 4,999, shipping all across India. But if you'd like to try it out, then please come and listen to this at Headphone Connect that's happening at a city near you over the next few months. By the time this video comes out, I think we'll be a few weeks away from Headphone Connect in Delhi, followed by Headphone Connect in Bangalore. Headphone Connect Hyderabad happening next month, and then we're off to Ahmedabad and Kolkata before we restart the Headphone Connect season all again from scratch. So this will of course be there on the IEM bar at each of these events. Please come down and listen to it. And of course, if you're in the suburbs of Mumbai, please feel free to come down to our experience studio to try out the Blackbird yourself. I couldn't be more excited to listen to your thoughts and reactions. All right, that's it for today, guys. Thank you. See you next time.